welcome to another episode of Warhammer 40,000, and there's two new armies to show you here. It's Orks. They've made their appearance finally on the channel, and then Chris has come down. He's brought his Eldar force with him, so it's going to be a clash between two new forces here. Really excited about this one. So we're fighting on this desert planet. We're in a sector here which is a bit more lush. There's jungle growing up here, scrub all around, and then rock formations across the table. No sign of any Imperial presence here. It's a fresh part of the planet, and it'll be on this terrain where the Orks will take on the Eldar. It's a classic matchup. It's 1,000 points, and they're excited to see how this game will go. So it's the debut for the Orks. It's just 1,000 points, so it's about half the army's done now, and then I haven't been able to wait. We've decided to use them at 1,000 points, and it'd be nice to see them on the channel. It's been a long time. The channel needs to have Orks, and they're going to finally make their appearance. So I hope we do well in this game. We'll have to see what happens as Chris brings his Eldar. It'll be strange playing against Eldar. I know them well, but I haven't actually fought against them before. Welcome to this 1,000 point game of Warhammer 40,000. It's Orks against Eldar. I've been working on my Orks here, and I've managed to put a 1,000 point force together. So in charge, the warlord is Gutrippa there, and he's going to have a bodyguard with him of 3 knobs, just heavy armour for those. Then troops, it's a bound army, 2 units of boys, and I've given them heavy armour, so they've got 4+ save. There's a knob there with boss pole and big chopper. 1 unit of 11, and then 1 unit of 10. Then fast attack unit of Ork bikes, and there's a knob there with boss pole and big chopper for him there. Unit of storm boys. I really like the models here. They're led by a knob. He's got a boss pole, and I'm going to count him as big chopper as well. And then heavy support, 1 big group of killer cans, 6 of them, 4 of them with rocket launchers, and then 2 of them with grotzukas. So 1,000 points is quite a lot of numbers there. So that's about half the force done, and it's not totally complete. The finished units that will make it into the 1850 point list will be the Storm Boys. They're pretty much done, and the Killer Cans. I still want to get another 3 bikes here for the Ork bikers, and then just got to mechanise the force. I've got trucks and battle wagon to work on as well. But it's coming along well, and it's nice to take the force out. It'll be a learning curve here as you get used to using Orks in their first encounter. I've played a couple of games with them against the Imperial Fist. James and I were playing, and the Orks did perform pretty well. So we'll have to see how well they do in this game. They're up against Eldar, fast and nimble force.
Okay, 1,000 point Eldar bound list. Headquarter choice, although he's not my warlord, is a Spirit Seer. He got the invisibility power, psychic shriek, primus, and hallucination. Come down here. First of my troop choices is 10 Guardian Defenders. I've put a scatter laser in the unit and a warlock. That warlock rolled up enhance and drain. He also has the primus power of conceal and reveal. They're in a dedicated transport, which is a wave serpent. Twin Link Bright Lance, and upgraded to take the Shuriken Cannon. My warlord, as per the rulebook, you're able to take any character in your army as your warlord, is the Wraith Lord. He is the Ghost Glaive, Flamer, Shuriken Catapult, Scatter Laser, and his warlord trait was taken from the personal option, and I got Tenacity, so he's got Feel No Pain, which is excellent. Next troop choice is 7 Rangers, no upgrades. The next choice is technically a troop choice as well because of a Spirit Seer in my army. It is a unit of 5 Wraith Guard. They're in a dedicated transport, Wave Serpent, Twin Link Bright Lances, no other upgrades. And the last unit is a carbon copy of the other Guardian unit, 10 Guardians. A Warlock who has the Empower, Invade, and Conceal Reveal psychic powers, and I've put a Bright Lance platform in there.
Right, so there's Chris's force. Numbers aren't too bad. There's quite a lot of figures there, but congratulations to him for getting this army together. It's all painted and based and in a colour scheme that I've never seen before for Eldar. It looks very nice. They'll go well on this terrain. So there's the force there, and they'll be up against this lot of orcs. So 1,000 points is a low number, but as far as figures go, there's quite a lot to play with here. So we're looking forward to this game. We're going to go on to scenario now. Right, so the scenario is Crusade. There's 5 objectives on the table. There's one just here, and then there's one just in between the rocks there, one here in the crater, and then one just there, and then the final one Chris has placed just there. And then deployment is hammer and anvil, and Chris is going to go first and deploy first. He'll be at this end, so he'll be holding 2 objectives, 1 and 2, and then he's got some terrain to block line of sight as well. So the orcs are going to be up this end here behind this line of dice. So we're going to go into deployment now for these 2 forces in this game. Right, so deployment for both of these forces here. The orcs have deployed right up to the edge of their deployment zone. They're eager for this one. Killer cans on the right hand side here. Then both units are boys, and they've been accompanied by Gutrippa and his bodyguard in the middle. Then Storm Boys just there, and then on the extreme left is the Warbikers. Right, and for Chris's force, he's infiltrated his snipers here. He has got the Illic model, but it's just going to count as a regular sniper. And they've deployed in the rocks here, just at the top, nice position for snipers to fire down. So they've got a nice clear view of the orcs there. You know, Guardians in the centre, there with the Spirit Seer there, and then the Wraithlord just behind the rocks here. And then in this left-hand Wave Serpent is the Guardians, and then here inside this Wave Serpent is the Wraith Guard. Yeah, so we've rolled up for night fighting. We do have it. So there's, the orcs have decided to attack at dawn. So the sun rises and the Eldar look across the battlefield to see a huge tide of green skins ready to charge straight at them. So we'll see what happens. We're going to go into the first turn of the game. We'll wonder if the orcs can seize the initiative. They're not that intelligent, but you never know. Just a nice 6. No. Okay, so it's Eldar turn 1 coming up. Right, some movement on turn 1 for the Eldar. He's just keeping it range here with the Wave Serpent, so I think you fear those the most. There's good range on them, plus the Serpent Shield that you can use. which you can deactivate if it keeps out of range. It's good tactics there. Guardians just holding their position, along with the snipers as well. And then the Wraith Lord moving out from behind the rocks there. Looks like he's going to try and block off the killer cans. So that's movement done for the Eldar. There will be Psychic Phase now for them, and then Chris will want to do some shooting as well. So going to go on to Psychic Phase for the Eldar on turn 1. Right, so Psychic Phase here for the Eldar is sort of crafty stuff here. So he's put Conceal on the unit here, so they've got Shrouded, and then he's cast Invisibility on the snipers, so a little bit of psychic stuff being used there, and it will help the Eldar, keep them alive for a bit longer. We're going to go on to shooting now. Chris is going to open up and fire at the Orks. Right, so shooting for the Eldar on turn 1. It's been pretty good. Yeah, it's been right. The Wave Serpent firing down here has destroyed one of the killer cans, and there's a whole point on another. Then the snipers firing down have managed to kill 3 of the bikes. We passed morale, but we've been halved in strength there. So casualties taken. Morale holding. That's the end of the turn for the Eldar. They've let off their initial shots, and now the green tide is going to start its advance up the table. So go on to Ork turn 1. Coming up. Right, so the green tide advances. It was here and it's moved up. Killer cans moving through cover, but they rolled a 6. The boys moving up here as well. Gut Ripper and the 2 squads. And then the Storm boys moving up 12 inches up and over the rocks. And then the bikers moving up 12 as well. It's a bit of speed here from the Orks. They've taken some casualties. Their blood is up. And they're going to head towards this Eldar line. It looks like their first target will be those snipers on the hill. We may get a charge in here with the Storm boys. We'll have to see. Going to go on to shooting now for the Orks on turn 1. Right, so shooting for the Orks then on turn 1. There's not really much shooting, just the killer cans firing here at the Wraith Lord. 3 missiles, and then 1 Grotzuka was in range, and no damage done at all. Other than that, the rest of the Orks have run. So the Storm boys have run at the foot of the hill here, and then the boys running up just a couple of inches with these 2, and then these guys running up 3 inches. Bikes at the top there have gone 12, and they're heading off towards the Wave Serpent. They're going to try and tie that Wave Serpent down somehow. So that's the end of the turn for the Orks. Just advancing ahead. Turn 1 is really where we do our pushing up the table. We've got to survive turn 2 now. Eldar turn 2 coming up. We'll see what they can do. So Orks moving up here, they're able to move quite quick, but we'll see if Chris can respond here. The Wave Serpents are fast enough, but at the same time he's got to protect his central position there. Got the snipers and the Guardians and his HQ units holding the objectives. That's where the Orks are heading for, but he's flanking that position with the Wave Serpents, and he can lay down some pretty effective firepower with them. Remember, he's got a unit of Guardians just here, and then the Wraith Guard inside this Wave Serpent, so plenty of options here as the Orks come up predictably, barging through the centre. Right, it's movement for the Eldar on turn 2. The snipers are holding their ground, and then the Guardians moving around. So Chris is going to try and use battle focus here. He's going to fire and then retreat. That's the flexibility of the Eldar here. Wave Serpent just backing off. It's coming around here, and then the Wraith Lord pushing ahead through the gap here. It's an interesting move there. And the Spirit Seer here just detaching himself from the Guardian unit. Wave Serpent moving up slightly here on the left-hand side as well. It's a good shooting phase here from the Eldar. But we're going to go on to Psychic phase first. It was pretty effective last turn. We'll see what Chris can do on turn 2. Right, it's a psychic phase for the Eldar. He's managed to cast invisibility on the Guardians here, but it's cost him a wound. It rolled on the perils there and has lost the Primaris Parapsychic Shriek. So power's been cast, but it's cost the Eldar slightly here. So we're going to go into shooting now as the Eldar try and take out more Orks on turn 2. Right, so shooting for the Eldar on turn 2 has been pretty good. Guardians firing down here. We took a couple of saves, but we've lost 3 of the Storm Boys there. Passed them around a 7. And then Snipers firing down managed to kill the Warbiker Knob. They passed him around a 7, but we've lost him. Precision shots coming in and are unable to stop him. And that's quite a significant blow to the Orks there. So a lot of casualties coming in for the Orks here from the Eldar. And then this turn, Killer Cans being brought down here, another one lost. One in the middle, that's firing from the Wave Serpent here. And then the Wraith Lord firing ahead with his weaponry as well. We're getting cover saves, but glancing hits coming through, knocking these Killer Cans down. So there's 3 of them left. They've passed their cowardly grots. The Orks are holding, they're still up for the fight, but it's costing them quite a lot to get close to this Eldar force. So far, the game is in favour with the Eldar. But we're going to go on to Ork turn 2, and we'll see if the War Boss calls a war. Right, so Ork turn 2, I'm just realising here we haven't caused a single casualty yet and taken a bit of a hammering, but the War Boss has declared a war, and then he's moved up. The boys moving up here, one unit heading up towards the hillside here with the snipers, Gut Ripper himself moving up through the middle. Another unit of boys pushing through the jungle here, hacking their way through on towards the Wraith Lord, and then the Killer Cans pushing ahead. They're closing the range as well. And then the Storm Boys were here, and then up and over the top, they're after the Spirit Seer there. And then the bikes, 2 of them. But still a bit of potential with them to do some damage. They're going to fire at the Guardians and try and charge in. So it's a chance here for the Orks to make contact with the Eldar and try and swing this game around. If it stays as it is, and the Eldar continue this rate of fire, then the Orks will be in trouble. But now's our chance to make contact and try and equal the balance in close combat. So we're going to go on to, there's no psychic phase for the Orks, and we're going to go into the shooting phase now for the Orks on turn 2. Right, so Ork shooting on turn 2. Not too much shooting going on. It's sort of the Orks are just manoeuvring themselves, ready for this charge here. The Killer Cans firing ahead, no damage on the Wraith Lord here, so our shooting really is not particularly impressive, but we just stand a chance here in assault. The Gut Ripper's moving through the jungle. He's run 3 inches to still be allowed to charge, and then these boys, they ran 5 inches just up, clambering up the hillside here, coming round behind the snipers, so it's a bit sneaky here from the Orks. We then ran 2d6 with the Storm Boys. Looks like we've got a slight chance of reaching and perhaps destroying this wave, so maybe the only chance we get in this game to contact one of them. The other boys moving up 4 inches, they did well, and then the bikes firing ahead, just on snap fire with Chris being granted invisibility on the Guardians, took one of the Guardians out. So that's shooting done. Assaults now will be key for the Orks. If they can make it into contact with all of these charges, then there's a good chance they can try and equal the balance in this game. So charges coming up for the Orks on turn 2. So able to do 2d6 here, just with their Rocket Pack special rule. It cost us 2 Storm Boys to do it. They're failing their dangerous terrain checks, but it just granted us a little bit extra speed. They moved out 5 inches, and just saw the opportunity there to go after the wave, so I hope we can pull it off. It's cost the Orks a lot to get up the table, but it may be worth it now as we go into the assault. Right, so we're going to film these charges here. Some key rolls. So the Storm Boys charging in. They get here we go, so we can re-roll one of the fouls here. So we're going to roll up for them. 11. They're up for the fight there. So that's first contact here. The Storm Boys have made it in contact with the Wave Serpent. Next one, I'm going to try and charge the killer cans in. This is probably the least likely charge to go through. It's going to roll. Going to need a very good roll indeed. And 8's not going to do it. Live less 2 for going through cover. So that's a foul there. Didn't expect that one to go through. Almost did. So we've got options here. We're going to go around to the other side. So we're just deliberating about charges here. It's difficult choices for the Orks. I think we're going to try and charge Gutrippa first at the Wraith Lord. So Overwatch first. Chris likes the idea of that. 3 shots to the Flamer, yeah. Strength 4, toughness 4.
Scatter laser needs 6s.
He's got his 6.
So it's a 2 up for the scatter laser.
Yeah. 1. There's a lot of 1s so far.
And the 3 flamer, that's strength 4.
4s. 1 wound, 1 save of 4+. We take that, so untouched. But do we make it into combat? That's the key. You're just rolling up, or measuring up here. 6 inches will do it.
2, so 8 or more on the dice.
8 or more on the dice. We can re-roll one of these. We've got 8. Gutrippa's made it in. Now, I wasn't sure we'd ever get this in the game. The fact that the 2 Warlords will be able to have a face-off here, but we've got it. A Wraith Lord against Gutrippa. It's going to be interesting combat, this one. Right, so now that Gutrippa's made it in, we're going to try and charge this unit of boys who are sneaking up behind the snipers here. We're going to try and charge up the hillside. I reckon we need 3 inches would do it. Yeah, less 2 for cover. Yeah, that's a 5. So we're going to have some Overwatch from the snipers.
Shuriken pistols.
1 hit.
1
wound. 4 up for heavy armour. No. So 1 boy is brought down. 5 inches I reckon will do it. And we can re-roll one of these. 6. So those boys have made it in. So far so good for the Orks. Right, I was just figuring this out. The biker's going to charge in here. Should be able to make contact, but they'll sort of touch the Guardians here. So we'll have to go up around a little bit with the boys. But we'll try and go in with the bikers here. 8, they're miles in. Chris is going to try and destroy them on Overwatch. This is a now biter point in the game here. So Chris has got a lot of Overwatch to do with this Guardian unit.
So these are the Shuriken cannon bolts.
I'd be surprised if he destroys those bikers. We'll see.
And then I've got 4 scatter laser shots.
Yeah. So Shuriken shots here, good at close range. 6 as he wants. He's got a pile of them. It's 5. Yeah.
Scatter laser.
No hits with that, but sheer weight of shots there.
5
and
6s. 6 is the blade storm.
Yeah. Right, so fouled there, not a scratch on the bikes. And then the boys charging in here. They've got here we go as well. Double 6. I think that is a good summary of this turn for the Orks. They've got wound up as they've moved up the table. Losing boys have now seen their chance to contact the Eldar. And they have ploughed in this turn. We'll see how combats go on turn 2 for the Orks. Right, so we'll do this assault here. The Storm Boys charging in. I've paid the points here. We've got a big chopper in there for the Orc Knob. So we'll go first. 3 attacks, then 1 on the charge. We need 3s to hit. Just 2. And then strength 7. On a bad roll here, we're not going to get through. But 10. 1 glance and 1 pen. That's good. And then the result here for the penetrating hit is a 3. So we've got 2 hull points is shaken up. That's good. And then the rest of the boys, 12 attacks, there's 4 attacks each. They'll need 6s to glance. Need 1 glancing hit, and that Wave Serpent's brought down. That's to hit. Wish that was our to glance roll. Never mind. 3's to hit. It's 2 misses. And then just 1 6 out of this slot. And we've done it. No. Not fair, not fair. He survives. Right, it's not too bad for the Orcs. We needed to bring that down, though. He's on 1 whole point left. But they failed in their mission there, the Storm Boys. So we're going to go on to the next assault. It's the showdown here between the 2 warlords. Chris is going to go first. I think he's going to issue a challenge. Yeah, so we reckon that Gutrippa's met his match here. He's got a Ghost Glaive. He's going to get 3 attacks. We've got to hope he misses, otherwise Gutrippa could meet his end here.
Ghost Glaive.
Right, it's 2 hits. Double 1 would be... So he's got 1-1. Just 1 wound. Right, Gutrippa's taken a wound here, and now he's going to get to strike back. Right, so just... Chris was saying strength 10, but it's actually strength 9 here with a Ghost Glaive, so we almost scared the life out of me if Gutrippa almost died. Instant death. We're going to get our Feel No Pain here. Strength 9, toughness 5. So 5 plus, we're going to ignore it. We do. Oh dear. Not only does Gutrippa survive, he's not been wounded. Brian's going mad. So Gutrippa's going to strike back here and see if he can bring down this prize. Right, so Gutrippa, 4 attacks, 5 on the charge. He's got an attack squig as well. So we're going to reroll one of the misses. Weapon skill 5. Okay, 2 hits.
Squig.
Plus, we're going to get the squig here. Vital reroll. Yes, we get it. Then strength 10, toughness 8 is 2s. A double 1!
Warlord trait of Feel No Pain.
Feel No Pain. He doesn't get it, no, he takes a wound, but we thought we had him there. But the Wraith Lord has survived. So we're saying the Nob bodyguard here, they can't assault because they have to wait until this combat's resolved between these two. So they're just standing by as Gutrippa and the Wraith Lord are locked in mortal combat. So the Orcs win the combat there, but Fearless, that's just going to continue on between those two as they try and take each other out. So we're going to go on to the rest of the assaults here for the Orcs on turn 2. Yeah, Chris is going to fight here with the scouts, just trying to defend themselves. They've been ambushed from behind. The Orcs are a bit sneaky. So he's going to do his attacks here. 4s he needs, and then he'll need 5s to wound. He's got 2. 4 up save here for our heavy armour. Doesn't work, he's killed 2 of the Orc boys there. So we'll do the Orc Nob first here. So he'll need 4s. He gets his 2 hits, and then 2s to wound, and they're AP 5. So that's 2 scouts brought down by the big chopper. And then with the rest of the boys, there's 6 of them, but that's 24 attacks, which is a ludicrous amount of dice. I can barely pick them up here. So they need 4s. There's a fair amount of hits. Just when you have so many dice, sort of the law of averages starts to take over. So we're just separating out our misses here. And yeah, it is about average. And 3s to wound. Yeah, pretty good. Again, about average. So that's 9 saves to make on the scouts. Slight chance he could survive, but yeah, he's made a few.
I think they're gone.
But no, I think that's enough. Yeah, 5 and then 2 is 7. That's the squad gone. And first blood by turn 2. It's taken a while to get to that. But they've cleared the hillside in revenge. Right, so that's all the combat's done. Just this one here. The Guardians are going to go first here with their higher initiative. Just a couple of hammer of rough hits here. I need 4s, yes. And then 5s to save. Yeah, I've knocked 1 Guardian down. Chris has got a challenge here. The Warlock is taking on the Orc Nob. So he's just going to put him in base contact here. A lot of personal showdowns here between the Orcs and Eldar. So just 2 attacks. And he's got his hits, yep. So he wants a 2 to wound, which he gets. And then we get our armour save, 4+, which we pass. In response, we'll get 4 attacks. Needing 4s. Yep, 3 hits, then 2s to wound, 3 saves.
Another body thrown into the air here.
He's-
Toast, yeah.
Yeah, so the Orc Knob's taking a big swing and has brought down the Warlock, and one of the Guardians as well got in the way. Now the Guardians can fight back against the boys. He's got a number of attacks here.
Sure, weapon skill.
Weapon skill 4. So 4 hits, not bad, and then 5s to wound, toughness 4. Nothing. So the boys now can strike. I was just going to do the bikes here first. 4s to hit with them. Not too good. It's alright. Average. And then strength 4. Toughness 3. So 3 saves of 5 plus. You save 2. So just 1 Guardian brought down by the bikes. And then the Orc boys will do the rest. Right, so we've got 20 attacks here for the boys. There's 10 boys charging in. So just going to do in 2 blocks of 20. Look at that rolling, that's ridiculous. So, sorry, that's missed. I was just taking out our misses here, just at 4s. That's a crazy amount of 6s. Then 3s to wound. So far, Chris has 7 saves to make there.
Oh, we'll do 9.
Yeah, he's just going to roll those up now.
Platform, because that is the 7th model.
Yeah,
2, it's gone.
so the platform's gone. And then he's just going to roll up the rest here. Made a couple. Yeah. 4 more Guardians, but there's still some left. We can do our other 20 attacks to try and bring down the last of the Guardians here.
That's the Guardian. This sounds like a card type.
4s. So a little bit, well below average here. A very poor score. And then 3s to wound, that's better. So 5 more saves, a 5 plus. There's a slight chance Chris could survive this. Just going to roll up here. No, they are gone. So Orcs have had their revenge. They've crashed into the Eldar line here and removed the Scouts and the Guardians from play. Then around the other side, Gutrippa has caused a wound on the Wraith Lord, but that melee continues. That'll go into the next turn. And then over here, the Storm Boys almost destroyed the Wave Serpent. It's a shame we didn't, but they haven't. That Wave Serpent will be free to move off on Chris's next turn. But a significant turn there. Has that been enough for the Orcs to change the game around? Certainly. It's put the game back in the mix. The shape of the game has changed. The Orcs taken casualties as they've moved in, but they've made contact. That was the vital point. And Eldar units being brought down. But we're going to go into turn 3 now for the Eldar. Just calculating this last melee, we forgot the Eldar had invisibility, 6s to hit for those boys. And so we've recalculated it here. The Warlock survived, and 4 of the Guardians brought down. So the Orcs won the combat, and Chris fell back. So Chris fouled his morale, just recalculating it here, and then fell back 10 inches. The Guardians are now there. The half squad's still alive with the Warlock, and then the Orc boys consolidated 5 inches. But we forgot about that power invisibility, but we've just redone that in combat, and that's how it's worked out. So that squad's still there. They can rally if they pass morale, and then they'll be on snapfire. So we're going to go into turn 3 now for the Eldar. Can they swing the game around? It's a tight moment here at this point in the battle. We'll see what happens as we go on to Eldar turn 3. Alright, so moving for the Eldar on turn 3, and really the Orcs, we're going to brace ourselves here for another lot of firing. So the Wave Serpent just here, Guardians have got out, they're going to try and finish off the Storm Boys there. And then this Wave Serpent moving over, the Wraith Guard have got out. There, Spirit Seer moving back, and then this Guardian squad has rallied. They'll be able to do snap firing on the shooting phase, and then just this continuing melee here as the 2 warlords face off against each other. So we're going to go on to Psychic phase now for the Eldar on turn 3. Right, so Psychic phase for the Eldar on turn 3, and the Spirit Seer is gone. He cast invisibility successfully on the Wraith Lord here, but rolled on the perils and got sucked into the warp. And then the Guardian squads, the Warlocks here, just granting conceal to both those units. This unit here and this unit here are both shrouded as well. So pretty successful stuff from the Eldar with their psychic powers, but it's costing them a little bit. The Spirit Seer is no more. So we're going to go on to shooting now. This is the bit where we're going to brace ourselves, see if the Orcs can survive this round of shooting from the Eldar on turn 3. Right, so shooting for the Eldar on turn 3 has been pretty good. The Guardians firing through, the Storm Boys have gone. It was good effective fire from there. Then this Wave Serpent firing up. Some casualties on the Orc Boy squad just there. So they pass morale, they're just holding their ground, and then just one casualty dealt out on the top squad there. It's firing coming from the Wave Serpent here, firing on Snapfire. Then the Wraith Guard, they contributed to the casualties there on that Orc mob just there. Then the Guardians, no damage done from them on Snapfire as well. So it could have been a lot worse firing from the Eldar there. But that marks the end of shooting. I'm going to go on to assaults. And it's just this showdown here now. They've got invisibility cast, or Chris has cast invisibility on the Wraith Lord there. So we've got difficult choices to make here, how we're going to go about this combat. So we're going to go into this one now. Pivotal point. Right, so we're going to do this combat here. Chris gets 3 attacks. He can re-roll one of his misses. So he's going to roll up here, needing 4s. Oh, he's missed all 3. He's got a re-roll, and he's got a 1. He's missed. Right, here's Gut Ripper's chance. 4 attacks. Double 6 here, and the Orc mob's going to erupt in a cheer. Got the 1-6. Squig will re-roll. Does the little squig help out? Close. On a 5. So we're just on 2s to wound. Yes, 1 feel no pain for his Warlord trait, which he fails. There's another wound on the Wraith Lord there. Love it is, invisibility is not going to last too long. Gut Ripper's going to find his mark soon. So he's swinging around with the big circular saw there, and he's managed to hit the Wraith Lord. But we're going to go into, that's the end of the combats there. It's Fearless with the Wraith Lord, so he'll stand his ground. We're now going to hand over to the Orcs on turn 3, see if they can lurch forwards again and reach the Eldar. We'll see what happens. Turn 3 coming up for the Orcs. Movement for the Orcs on turn 3. The bikes have moved back 12 inches. Looks like we're just going to go and try and sit on one of the objectives here. Then the killer cans going ahead 6 inches through the scrub here. Melee continuing with Gut Ripper and the Wraith Lord. And then the boys just moving down a few inches here, going to try and go after this Wave Serpent. And then the other unit of Orc boys just going to try and go through against the Guardians. So chances here for the Orcs to get into combat again. We'll have to see how it goes. Bit of shooting now for the Orcs on turn 3. Right, shooting for the Orcs, and just one of the pistol shots got through here and brought down one of the Guardians, and that's about it. Bike's just moving back 12 inches as well. Looks like we're going to go after the objectives. Just playing a little bit tactically here, but it's still only turn 3. Still plenty of time left in this game. So we're going to go into assaults now for the Orcs. Desperately want to reach both of these targets in combat. It's a critical point here for these 2 units of boys to make it in. Right, so I'm going to charge the cans in here. They've got about 3 or 4 inches to cover, so I'll roll this up. 3 inches is not going to be enough. -2 for cover, so the killer cans are stuck there. Oh boy, pressure on. We'll try and charge down the middle here. Intervening terrain, don't think so. It might be a flat up charge. 5 inches. So you've got Snapfire to survive. And then we'll see if we can make it in.
So scatter laser.
Gets a hit with a scatter laser hit.
Strength of that is enough.
Yeah.
That's 1. And the catapults, 3 hits.
Yeah.
1
Fours.
rend, 2 saves and 1 rend. So hit a rend first, knock off the front man.
Alright, so the lead orc's been killed. And 2 4-up saves, double 1, 2 more boys brought down.
Oh, ups the distance significantly.
So distance has gone up and we've halved the strength of our unit. So we're going to roll up for charging here. 6 inches, is that enough? It's not enough. So we're going to re-roll this one here. It's 7, so we need a 3+. 5, they've made it in.
30 orcs.
Just that single re-roll is very handy, so here we go, it's paid off. Next one, the Orc boys here are going to try and reach the Wave Serpent. We're going to have to go through cover. 6 inches would do it. So really we want 8 in total. 8 is what we get. The boys are in again. Chris is shocked at the speed of humble Orc boys on foot here, but they've made it into combat to try and bring down the Wave Serpent. So we have got some combats here. It's good news, we made it in. It's cost us to reach this squad of Guardians. We'll see if the Knob and the 2 remaining boys can have their revenge. Alright, so we've got a challenge on here. The Orc Knob's going to take on the Warlock. Again. So Chris will go first. And he gets his 2 hits.
Flashbang.
2's to wound.
1 wound.
1 wound, so we'll live. And it might cost us a wound here. Yes, no, he's taken a wound. Orc Knob's been wounded here. So we'll fight back here. 4 attacks on the charge. 4 horse, good. And then 2's to wound. All 3 of them.
Vulnerable rune armor.
Oh, so the Warlock's gone. And then with that sweep, 2 Guardians brought down as well.
Heads collected.
So that Orc Knob is a psychopath. 3 attacks with the remaining Guardians now. And he gets 2 hits. 5's to wound. No. And then those remaining Orc boys, only 2 of them, but it's actually 8 attacks. They're on 4's to hit. Just a bit below average there. And then they're on 3's to wound. Just 1. Save a 5+. No, another Guardian gone. So they win the combat. We want to see if Chris breaks morale.
Run away.
She's lost by 3.
Yeah, they've broke.
They have broke. Now I want to chase them. And good initiative. 2. No, I think they're going to get away.
6, 5, 8.
It's escaped again. Right, just this combat here. We just need 1 remaining hull point on the Wave Serpent. We'll do the Orc Knob here. 3's to hit. Gets his 2 hits. Strength 7. No. A 2 and a 1. So it's down to the Orc boys now. Got to get that glancing here. Right, so regular Orc boys here. 24 attacks. Needing 3s. We're just going to take these out. It looks about average. Maybe a bit less actually. There's quite a few that have missed. And out of this lot, we need 1 single 6. That'll do. 4 6s. So Wave Serpent's brought down. Right, so combat results there. It's gone well for the Orcs. Chased off the Guardians there. Brought them down. Just consolidated a couple of inches. And then here we've got our hull point. We've got 4 of them actually, but that's the end of the Wave Serpent. So Orcs just killing off a few of the Eldar units. Just trying to cut down, because it is objective based. More units that we can take out, the better. A little bit of mobility as well gone with that Wave Serpent brought down. So we've just got this combat here. The Wraith Lord against Gutrippa. So Chris will go first again. He's still invisible to the start of his next turn. So he's going to go first here with the Wraith Lord with the Ghost Glaive. So 4's to hit. He's going to re-roll that one. Gets it. This could be the end of Ripper. 2's. Double 1. God. Gutrippa lives. And then Gutrippa may feel no pain this one on a 5+. He does. Respect for the Orc Warlord there. And now all he needs is 4 attacks back. And if he gets a 6, then Gut Ripper's reputation has been started. Ugh, no, not quite. Oh, hang on a second. Squig. Oh, close, okay. Right, so that's the combat's done. It's a drawn combat. It will continue again into the next turn. So we're going to go into Eldar turn 4 coming up. Both sides taking casualties, there's no doubt there. It's objective basis, 5 objectives on this table. We've got combats to go on, still some shooting and some Eldar units. What's Chris going to do? We're going to have to see. We're going to go into turn 4 coming up. Right, let's move for the Eldar on turn 4. Wraith Lord continues on in his close combat with Gut Ripper. And then the Guardian squad moving across, going to try and take out the Orc boys here. And then Wave Serpent coming across as well. Just Chris trying to position himself with options to fire either dead ahead at that unit or over here as well. And then the Wraith Guard moving out to try and finish them off as well. So he's going after the Orc boys here. Going to try and take on them. And once they're gone, he'll be able to take on this second portion of the army. We're going to go into psychic phase now for the Eldar. Just one warlock left in the Eldar force, so we'll just go on to this phase coming up. Psychic phase done then. Just cast Conceal here, but we denied it and got a 6. So that's the end of the psychic phase. Shooting now, quite straightforward here. 3 units going to erupt and see if they can take out these Orc boys. Right, so shooting on turn 4 for the Eldar, pretty effective. Guardians firing here, and we were wiped out. And then firing across, the Wraith Guard brought down a couple of boys, and then the Orc Knob was finished off by the Wave Serpent. So the task has been completed. Orc boys have been removed from this area. So all that's left is this combat. The Wraith Lord still defiantly staying there, but only on 1 wound left. He's no longer invisible. But Chris will go first. We'll roll this up now. So 3 attacks. He's hit with 2, and then he's hit with 3. Oh, there's a chance now. Gut Ripper could be brought down. 2s, yes, he gets it. Finally. Gut Ripper's got to make at least 1 feel no pain, or otherwise he dies, and the game will definitely switch over in favour of the Eldar. 5 pluses. Oh dear, Gut Ripper's incredible. So he's passed 2 feel no pains. He's withstood 2 hits from a ghost glaive. He'll carry those scars and tell the legend for years to come, no doubt. But he's taken 1 wound. Now let's see what he can do in return. Gut Ripper's going to fight back here. Freeze to hit. Squig. Yes, well done, Squig. And then 2s to finish off. Yes, the Wraith Lord and the Warlord is brought down. No, stop. Feel no pain. He's got 3 of them to make. Oh. No one's as tough as Gut Ripper. The Wraith Lord's gone. So what we want now is to get a nice tasty 6 for our consolidation move. Oh. Gut Ripper's on the move. Right, so Gut Ripper's brought down the Wraith Lord there, clambers over the body. 6 inches he's consolidated, and he's heading off towards the Guardians now. So the game's not over yet, that's for sure. That's the end of turn 4 for the Eldar. We're going to hand over to Orcs now on their turn 4. Potential here for Gut Ripper to go on the rampage once again. Right, so moving for the Orcs here on turn 4. Gut Ripper's moved ahead with his bodyguard. Bodyguard gone out in front now, just to absorb the hits as we potentially charge in. Killer Cans, we're tempted to go for this objective, but probably a bit too close to the Eldar line. So we've got the Wraith Guard over there. So we're falling back 4 inches, just heading off towards this objective. And then the bikes just hiding behind here, trying to stay alive. There's only 2 of them left. and as we try and prepare to hold objectives towards the end of the game. So we're going to go into, there's no psychic phase for the Orks, just going to go straight into shooting now on turn 4. Right, so shooting for the Orks here, pistol fire and gut rippers, big shoots there, no damage done on the Guardians, and then just falling back another 2 inches, did a run move with the killer cans here as they head off towards this objective, and then the bike's just holding their position over there. So we're going to go into assaults now, as Gut Ripper and his bodyguard try and plough into the Guardian unit. So snapfire here from the Guardians, going to try and bring down Gut Ripper's bodyguard.
Okay, so this is the Bright Lance. No.
Bright Lance misses, trying to get that shot in there to cause instant death. And then now the shuriken hits coming through. And we've seen they can be significant on the snapfire, so see how well Chris rolls here. It's 6s he's after. And he's got himself 3 of them. 666 he'd be happy with.
So, not one.
None. Too tough. So the Orks are in.
Yeah, 3 wins against 1.
Right, so the Warlock steps up here. He's going to challenge Gut Ripper, or Gut Ripper's challenging him. I suppose they challenge each other at the same time. So the Warlock's going to go first. He's very defiant.
1 hit.
He's got his hit. And it's 2s to wound. Yes, he may well cause a wound here. We get a regular armor save. Oh, 6. No, we pass. Gut Ripper's going to strike back now. Freeze to hit. Got 2 hits. Squig doesn't help. And then just 2s to wound. There's a 1 there, and the other one's gone under the Wave Serpent. Yeah, 1. One invuln save to make, which does it. The Warlock's been brought down. Gut Ripper's made short work of him. Now the Guardians will strike against Gut Ripper's bodyguard. So Chris just rolling up here. He needs 4s. It looks like it's a bit below average. And then he'll want 5s to wound.
1.
And there's 1, and there's a cock dice there. I'm just going to re-roll. Just 1. 4 up save. Yes, we do. So untouched. And those 3 bodyguard knobs there, they'll actually get 5 attacks each. So they're going to have 15 attacks for those 3. So we're on 4s to hit. It looks well below average here. Miles below average. That's horrendous rolling. And then strength 5, toughness 3, so we get our 3 wounds. Chris has got 3 saves to make. And he's passed 1, so 2 Guardians brought down. So not too much of a massacre. We'll see if the Eldar can hold. Yeah, he's just rolling up leadership here. 7. We reckon that's bust. So we'll chase here. Now Gut Ripper is initiative 4. And he's going to roll up a 1.
I'm away, 6.
6, no initiative yet, they're away. So the Guardians will live here. I'm just going to do our consolidation moves. Right, so Chris has pulled back here. He'll probably rally on his next turn, and then Gut Ripper's just consolidate a few inches towards the wreck there. But it's Eldar turn 5 coming up, so potentially on the last turn of the game. We'll see what happens as we go into Eldar turn 5. Right, so movement for the Eldar here, and obviously all the focus here is on Gut Ripper and his bodyguard. Wave Serpent backing off. We viewed it, shoot them, and then also the Wraith Guard as well, going to try and fire through the wreck. So no psychic stuff now, the psychics are gone. It's going to go straight into raw shooting power now. They've got to bring down Gut Ripper in that unit, otherwise he may go on the rampage again. So we'll see what happens as we go into Eldar shooting. Turn 5. Wraith Guard, here it comes. It's freeze to hit.
Oh.
2 misses. Okay. Any more 1s and it could get dicey. No. 2 6s and a 5. Right.
The ordinary hit is covered, then your points, obviously.
Yeah. So we're going to go for, we've got 3 nasty hits to deal with here. The first cover save we'll do will be on this Orc knob here. 5 or a 6 will be good. No. So he's brought 1 down. The strength is so high, it's instant death on him. Then we'll do 2 lookout sirs of 2+. Yes. And cover saves for them of 5+. We've saved 1. So Gutrippa lives, he survived that torrent of fire there, and it's just down to the Wave Serpent now. See if he can take out the last bodyguard and then on to Gutrippa himself.
Bright Lance and Shield. What did you say his toughness is? 4?
4.
Bright Lance first.
Bright Lance shot coming through, that hits.
Okay. Go for 5.
Doesn't wound, he's rolled a 1.
Shuriken Cannon.
Shuriken Cannon shots, 3 shots. He's got his hits. It's 2s to wound and 6s will help. No, we've got 3 saves to make there. And the shield, he's going to deactivate the shield.
2 shots.
Just 2 shots.
1 hit.
1 hit. And he gets another wound. Okay. So Shuriken Cannon hits, falls to save. Yes, we've saved 2. So it's 1 wound and then a final save. 4+ would be amazing. Yes, we do. So 1 wound on that lead. Orc Knob there. The bodyguard has worked. He's kept Gutrippa alive. Right, so that's shooting done for the Eldar. Going to re-roll roll morale here. Fine. Gutrippa's got no problem with morale. So that's the end of the turn. There's no combats. Shooting's done. So we're going to go over to Orc turn 5. We've got decisions to make here. What target we're going to go for here with Gutrippa. Got to keep him alive. I don't want to concede that point. Going to try and keep Linebreaker as well. It's a difficult one. Orc turn 5 coming up. Right, so Orc movement here on turn 5. Interesting turn of events. The bike's moving up 12. Look, they're going to go after this objective here, but they've got to go through that difficult terrain to get there. Don't want to get any 1s. And then the 3 killer cans that are still alive backed off onto this objective. Now they're now holding that one. They should be able to hold it all right. But there's that Wave Serpent still alive. Then coming across here, Gutrippa trying to move across the wreck here and has rolled a double 1. So it's difficult. There's a long distance to cover there, about 8 inches, and then -2 on top of that. We're going to need a very good roll to reach the Wraith Guard. So Gutrippa potentially in trouble, and a good fair chance that he's not going to reach anyone in combat. So we're going to go into shooting now for the Orcs on turn 5. Right, so shooting phase for the Orcs here. The bikes turbo boosting onto the objective, and then just an inch shuffle back here with the killer cans as well. Then Gutrippa, pretty good. He fired his combi missile launcher there, hit and killed one of the Wraith Guard. So we're going to go into assaults. We'll just roll up our charge range here. Chris will happily overwatch.
Oh yeah.
So let's do his 4 shots, needing 6s. And you get 1, yeah. 2s to wound. Do get the cover save, which we don't get, so the bodyguard's been killed. So now it's just Gutrippa by himself. Is this 1 charge too far? We reckon he needs...
Yeah, it's about 8 and a bit, 8 inches. So. And then you're...
8 inches minus the 2. So... double 6. Double 6. Fires a missile, takes down a Wraith Guard, and then double 6 charge into the Wraith Guard. Incredible. Gutrippa is on the rampage for the 3rd or 4th time in this game. So, Gutrippa charging here. Bodyguard took the hit in the face. Gutrippa pushes the corpse to the side, charges up and over the burning Wave Serpent into the Wraith Guards. Chris will go first here, and he gets 2 hits. There's strength, yeah. So he's on 4s to wound. He gets 1. Gutrippa gets his save. Yes, he does. Now 5 attacks. If Gutrippa brings these down, then not only is a hero born, but a legend has appeared. So we're on 4s to hit. No, 3s to hit, sorry. Squig helps out and gets the 3 hits. And then simple 2s. Cock dice here. 6, happy with that? There's a 6, yeah. So 2 Wraith Guard brought down, and a continuing melee. So Gutrippa would be happy with that. Right, so that's combat's done. Gutrippa smashing into the Wraith Guard there, brought 2 of them down. That's the end of turn 5, and we reckon the Orcs have it at the moment. But Chris is going to roll here. 1 or 2, it's all over. No, it's turn 6. Eldar turn 6. Coming up, what's Chris going to do with the Wave Serpent? Right, so that's movement done. It was done in 7.2 seconds. the wave serpent's moved up and out. Here, it's going to let off some fire, and then we'll do the combat. Right, so shooting phase for the Eldar. I thought he was going to shoot, but he's moved up onto the objective to claim 3 points. Then rolled a 1, and has got immobilised, stuck on top, and has presented himself nicely for the killer cans to take pot shots at. But we're going to combats now, as Gutrippa tries to finish off the foe just over here. Right, so Wraithguard, 2 attacks. Gets the hits, falls to wound, gets the wound. You can last it out to turn 7. No, we passed with our heavy armour. We'll strike back here. 4 attacks. Squig Hound, yes, well done. It's a helpful little pet to have. Then 2s to kill, yeah, Wraithguard are gone. Shredded by Gutrippa's Gutrippa. So we'll consolidate with him. That marks the end of the turn for the Eldar. I'm going to go into Ork turn 6 coming up. So Gutrippa's consolidated there 4 inches, just tucking himself in there. And he can go for one objective there or there, or he may at a stretch try and go after the Wave Serpent here. We'll see. We're going to go on to Ork turn 6 as 1 immobilised Wave Serpent remaining on the table. Right, so movement for the Orks then, and on turn 6, Bike's holding their position. Just rearranged ourselves here with the Grotzuka at the front in range of the Wave Serpent, and then Gutrippa didn't roll too well for crossing the terrain, so he's just slinked back here, and he's put himself at an angle to block off any shot from the turret on the Wave Serpent. Just a bit of wisdom there. So he's wise, brutal but cunning, perhaps is a good description for him. So I'm shooting now for the Orks on turn 6. So I fired 2 missile shots here at the Wave Serpent. Got the hit. Strength 8. 6 is a penetrating hit.
Shield.
2+, he'll negate it down.
Yep.
Yes, just becomes a glance. Chris just going to roll up cover here.
1.
No, so 1 whole point left. We'll do Grotzuka. Just need 1 whole point here. It's going to be a long shot to get it. First one's hit. Second one has possibly missed. So we want 1-6 to cause a whole point. No, so that's shooting done. So that's shooting done. Gutrippa's not going to run here. He's just at a nice angle there. So the Wave Serpent survives. 1 whole point left, sitting on the objective. And then just holding the objective here. Firing ahead with those 1 whole point caused by the missile launchers. So that's the end of the turn. Turn 6 is finished. Let Chris roll again here, 4+, and we'll go into turn 7. No, we don't. It ends on turn 6. So the Eldar still have a presence on the table, but it's immobilised, so the Orks no doubt will close in and ransack the Wave Serpent. So that's the end of the game. We'll calculate points here. Yeah, so just calculating points here for the Orks objectives. 3 points here, 3 points here, so 6. Then we got Slay the Warlord, the Wraith Lord was brought down, and then also First Blood. Not quite a line breaker there with Gutrippa, but that is it. There's 8 points, and then for the Eldar, just the 3 points here for holding the objective. So really a clear victory to the Orks. It could have gone either way though. The middle point of the game, really, the Eldar had it. But it's when the Orks made contact, the game began to change. So, good game, very enjoyable. Eldar versus Orks, a classic showdown, and it's good to see both of these forces on the channel. So, Orks, that's the first debut here. I've played other games with them, and they've performed well, but this is the first battle report for the channel with them. They've made their mark, that's for sure. Some really promising units here. They absorbed damage coming in, and then they delivered some significant damage when they reached in close combat. Gutrippa's rampage will pass into legend. No doubt he lives to fight another day. He'll get a new bodyguard for next time. Enjoyable game, but in the end it was Gutrippa smashing through that brought victory for the Orks. So it's well done. 1,000 point game, interesting and very enjoyable. Thanks for watching, and tune in next time. We're just talking about units of the game here. So for the Eldar, I reckon the Wave Serpents laying down decent firepower. They add that mobility to the force. They were caught out, but long range firepower, very good with them, and then able to protect their cargo as well at the same time. And only unit ready to survive until the end. But they could have changed the shape of the game, you reckon, if they cleared the Orks away, moving up the table, snatching objectives. A very good unit indeed. An agreement there. And then for the Orks, it's got to go to Gutrippa. He's bodyguard gone. The Ork boys brought down, but Gutrippa remains standing. And he's brought victory to his Ork force. He's led them well and brought victory for the Orks on their debut. So no doubt he'll be put in charge as more Orks flock to his cause. As the cry goes up, his force no doubt will expand. And hopefully we'll see the return of Gutrippa to take on a new opponent next time.